Now, when it comes to the issue of agriculture, God has blessed Africa tremendously. We have a lot of land. 65% of the land, arable land available to feed the world, is not in Asia, it's not in Latin America or US or anywhere else, it's actually in Africa. And I firmly believe that what we got to do is to really unlock that potential. We got the comparative advantage. What we've got to do is to turn that comparative advantage into a competitive advantage. We should produce our own food, process our own food, invest in things like infrastructure, market development to connect our farmers to market.
I used to say, and I will not stop saying it, that when you make loan or finances available to farmers at the rate of 20%, 18%, 15%, and we are beating our chest and say, yes, we have made money available to farmers, we are deceiving ourselves, because there's no way farmers can make it at that rate of interest unless they are producing cocaine.
Africa needs to produce something like 122 million jobs over the next decade. And those jobs cannot just be met through manufacturing, infrastructure, resources, retail, hospitality. To the extent, almost two-thirds, half to two-thirds of people in sub-Saharan Africa are dependent on agriculture for their livelihood. Unless we make agriculture bigger, better, and a business, we won't tackle the issue of jobs and unemployment in Africa. There may be ways in which that the commercial banking sector and the governments can work together in terms of either risk guarantees or subsidizing a portion of the interest, because that is the way that we can create an ecosystem where you can have sustainable financing available to farmers, and commercial banks can meet their return on equity considerations as well.
We must have virile and active farmers association who will look after their own interest, who will present their case to the authorities. We must have those. That we must find a way, and a very successful way of producing the next generation of farmers.
One of the key areas that we're discussing is how agriculture can be scaled up so that Africa can feed itself, but also so that incomes and productivity of agriculture can increase. And a key part of the discussion that came up was the role of government in financing agriculture and what government can do to support agriculture, with the view that government should be doing a driving role.
The discussion to me was very interesting today because there's a theme of agriculture becoming a business and moving away from agriculture as a livelihood initiative or just an economic development project, and trying to get particularly our smallhold farmers and our artisanal fishermen. If we get it right, and when I say get it right, that whole discussion about agriculture as a business, if we start moving towards not just trying to grow a meal that I can eat, but getting farmers to collectively produce for the community, for the country, for the region, it really is a huge catalyst for economic development growth on the continent. And it is encouraging that our political leaders are now, our DFIs, our IFIs are now starting to say we will fund. Our commercial investors, our private equity investors are saying there's an opportunity in agriculture and we will support it.